welcome to the Drunk Ramen Storytime Podcast. I'm your host, Ramen, joined by my partner in crime, my Robin to my Batman, TY.
I don't know what to say about that, but hi guys.
Okay, we have been on a long hiatus because so much has happened for our channel. So if you're looking at it and wondering, where are the videos? Well, even we have to admit some of our videos are incredibly cringy.
Yeah, so we are kind of stopping with the whole skit thing at the moment, and especially with college starting right now, I have no time to go out and just do skits with the guys and stuff. It's hard to find time to get together with everybody. So instead, we're going to do this in the meantime, and we're going to do stories.
We're going to do stories, just tell funny jokes, pretty much be ourselves. Well, while as when we were doing sketches for our channel, most of them were good. Not to say that none of them were bad, but
there were a lot of bad ones.
We primarily based them off as idea for improv, but they were all edited incredibly quick. The camera angles were all wrong. Because we don't have a good camera. So this is just a podcast, Storytime podcast, with just me and Tyler. If you're wondering where's everybody else, we're not doing anybody else. This is a podcast with two people.
So if they want to join at some point, then we might let them come in. Well, I'm not going to say might. We most likely will let them come in, but it's like...
We can't do Discords. We cannot...
Yeah, they have to make it.
They have to just make it. Sort of like a guest. So... our tagline for our podcast and our Spotify tagline is, welcome to the Drunk Ramen Storytime Podcast, the podcast where two dudes who don't know how to make a podcast, because we're making this podcast, we have no idea what the fuck we're doing. So we're just making it to make it.
Yeah, pretty much.
Yeah.
That's all right.
So, before I want Tyler to say his stories before I get into what's been happening with our channel and what's been going on.
Well, we can talk a little bit as to what's going on first.
Okay.
So pretty much what happened first, the reason we stopped making videos as often is one, when I left for vacation this year, not many of you know, but I went to Jamaica this year for vacation, which I was surprised with how well it went. But when I left, it was we didn't make anything after I came back because it was so hard to find time to do it. Because there has been so much going on. I've had a lot of house projects and a lot of stuff that we've had to do here at the house. So I haven't been able to make any plans to come and do this. Like I tried, and you can ask Jose, we've tried like 3 or 4 times prior to today, and we were not able to make it happen.
We sort of tried to relaunch the channel. It's not like we didn't try to relaunch the channel. We literally tried to get everybody on board. But here's the thing. It's hard to make any sketches when you can't even gather the people to come up with jokes to make sketches. Because we were trying to plan like a writers meeting. We were trying to do all that, but we couldn't do it.
Yeah, it was just ridiculous.
We were trying to get the channel organized because we're not like Smosh. We're not like these other YouTubers that can come up with like scripts and all that. We did everything by head. We came up with everything like 5 minutes in advance before we even got to filming.
Right. Yeah, so it was all improv based, and it was not working out for us.
Even some of our old videos, which there's probably not even that many, there's probably like 12, you can sort of see the editing style. The editing was okay, but the line delivery was shitty. And even I admit that my line delivery was shitty, as some of you realize I do sort of have a small lisp when I talk.
Yeah. So we're just gonna cut out the whole skit making for the time being.
We'll leave our sketches up, even though it pains us to watch. The only sketch...
They're always super cringy to watch yourself, though, and every time everyone else watches it, it's like, oh yeah, they were good, but we realized that it was really
because
bad.
The only 2 sketches, and one of them wasn't even a sketch, was the drunk ramen challenge,
Into the
both
mayo?
into the mayo and the drunk ramen, the challenge, the ramen challenge thing.
Even
Ramen
that one,
Circle.
I think it wasn't edited well.
Yeah, it wasn't.
It was
But
edited
those
pretty
two
bad.
videos, I think, did better on our channel than any other video we made.
Except for Gumbo,
Because
did well, but is no longer up on the channel.
well, actually, I could probably talk about it because, well, it's a podcast. So those Gumbo videos were deleted because me and for the sake of keeping his anonymity,
Gumbo.
me and Gumbo had some sort of like beef that involved politics. So
Yeah, because politics ruins everything.
Politics ruins everything. So he said that if we're not going to be friends, that I want you to remove the videos that I'm in. So it's not like I listened to his request and I removed the videos. I wasn't going to leave them up if he didn't want the videos up. So I deleted them.
Right.
Gumbo videos are not even there. I think not even one. I don't think so.
No, none of them are up there.
And that is my bad. But me and Gumbo, we made peace.
Yeah.
Because I don't like to keep grudges. I don't have an ego by myself. Even I know I hate politics. But I'm not going to let my politics get in the way of being friends with somebody who has a different view than me. I'm friends with Gumbo. We talk. He helps. We have a group chat where we all just talk and hang out. So we're all friends now. But I think you were still in Jamaica during this time too.
Oh yeah, I was literally in the middle of vacation, and he sends me a text. He's like, "Hey, something went south," and I'm like, "What happened?" And oh man, I was like, "I'm gone for literally a week, and you guys are already messing everything up." So
even at that point when you were in Jamaica, I remember before you even went to Jamaica, we talked about, hey, maybe we're gonna relaunch our channel. And after you came back from Jamaica, the funny thing is I relaunched my own channel and called the sorry for the self promotion, but I relaunched my own channel called Ramen's Retrospective, which is sort of falls under the head of our two channels. So I do my channel by myself, and I have people like Tyler make a voice appearance,
a cameo, stuff like that.
So Ramen's Retrospective is an animated commentary channel where I'll talk about movies and I'll try to review movies. I do games, and I have guest appearances from people that I used to work with in the other channel. So I had trouble, and I knew it was going to be a problem if we were ever going to do any sketches that I can't be in front of the camera. I have to be behind the camera in order to get angles. But we weren't going to do that because I have to write scripts for my channel, and I have to edit, and I have to do all that, and I have to work on animations, and it's too much work for me to run two things. So the decision I made was I'm going to run my channel, and I'm going to have Tyler and my friends come up with some of our ideas. And I'm going to run the podcast because it's audio and it doesn't require any effort.
Yeah, that's the one thing. With his other channel, it's a lot of time going into animation and stuff like that.
Yes.
And, I mean, I don't want to push anything more onto this poor guy that he's already got on his plate.
No, I try to get a video out every Wednesday. Sometimes I have a time frame, either every Wednesday or every Thursday. But I push it every Wednesday because one time I missed my deadline when I was editing a video, and I don't want to miss the deadline again. But yeah, I have another channel because when Tyler left, I told Tyler, hey, if I was going to make another channel, should I just make one or should I just post it to Drunk Ramen? But I'm like, no, I'll just make my own channel, and it's actually doing really good. The view count on my videos surpasses the ones we made for our other videos on our sketch channel.
Yeah, which is good. I mean, animated content on YouTube is thriving at this moment. I mean, you look at people like the Odd Ones Out, Jaden Animations, and stuff like that.
Yeah.
They're animated storytellers, which I would like to get into at some point.
I mean, this sort of podcast, when you look at it on YouTube, it's sort of an animated, not as animated as you want it to be, because the image you're going to see is just the two of us, our animated heads, just our names under it. so that way you guys have a visual to look at. It's just how it's gonna be like that because
we can't animate 2 hours worth of podcasts.
no,
I
can't. Even, I don't even want to animate 2 hours worth of podcast.
That's just ridiculous.
You're lucky any of you get like I have to make. I'm making a visual so that you guys have something to look at while you're listening to this podcast. The one that's gonna go on Spotify is like
it's just audio. It's raw audio.
It's just like raw audio with like maybe like just raw audio. That's all it's gonna be. Yeah. So this podcast is not gonna be like heavily edited. It is not gonna be no.
We're gonna maybe split it in half, but that's it.
Like this podcast is gonna be a 2-hour podcast that I'm going to split in half. 1 hour podcast is gonna go up on Thursday. The other half is going to go up next Thursday because me and Tyler, we want to meet once every other Thursday because I have videos and have stuff to write. So I can't meet every Thursday because I have other stuff that I have to do for my channel. So it's going to be every other Thursday. And I'll try to cut the podcast so that way we're not left on a sort of like a cliffhanger. Like I'll try to make it sort of like a cliffhanger so you have something to look forward to, but it's just how it's going to be.
Yeah, pretty much.
Yeah, so a lot of stuff has happened with our channel.
And we might put a timestamp just to tell when we're actually starting the stories, because this is already, like, 11 and a half minutes in, and we're just ranting about what we're doing.
No, because it's a part of a podcast. We have to rant what we're going to do. I mean,
we might do it in the YouTube one, but on the Spotify one, you're just gonna have to listen to it.
Yeah, I don't even know if I can make timestamps. I'll try to make timestamps.
Just find out the timestamp and just post it in the very beginning.
Yeah,
the story starts at this.
Yeah, I'll try to make timestamps for the YouTube video if you guys are watching, but there's no guarantee that I'll have time to do it because I have other stuff that I have to do. But I will try to make the timestamp for the video. I'm gonna try to edit this podcast when I get home, so. It's going to be very quick when I edit it.
It should be fast edit.
Yeah. Not really that.
Just like small action animation of 2 floating heads over the whole freaking...
Yeah, I'm going to put like a small song in the beginning and then it's going to cut to us, and that's pretty much how it is. But yeah, so I want Tyler to talk about what's been going on with him. I mean, I got some stories to tell, but Tyler is like the one I've been looking
forward to. Gosh! I have a lot of stories today, guys. It's been a rough past few months.
By the way, if you're seeing the floating head and it does say TY, TY is short for Tyler. My floating head is Ramen, but my real name is Jose. For those of you who are seeing the floating head in the YouTube video. So yes.
Yeah. So. All right. Well, I guess I could start off with our first one. It's actually just one long story of our trip to Jamaica. I'm gonna just say that right now.
Go ahead, man.
So this is obviously after we stopped posting videos. So all right. So we go to we are launching out of Baltimore to go to Charlotte, right?
Mm-hmm.
And I mean. It's not that bad. We stayed overnight at a hotel the night before so that we could get up at like 4 o'clock in the morning.
Oh, Jesus Christ.
Yeah, we got up at 4 o'clock in the morning to get to the airport to be there for 6 o'clock.
Oh, God. That sounds like...
So...
I can't wake up that early.
Yeah, it's up. We got our stuff onto the shuttle. We shuttled over and whatnot, waited like an hour and a half, 2 hours to board the plane, which... We didn't even eat breakfast at all that day. So, I'm going to just tell you, we went, and it took us till, like, midday to get to Charlotte. No, it was 11 o'clock. It was 11 o'clock we got to Charlotte. And then that's the first time we even had something to eat. I went to the airport place where they give you the food and stuff like that, like your snacks, and I just got some combos. Literally, that's all I ate that day was combos.
So you you woke up at 4, you got to an airport, you decided that you were going to eat a bag of combos. You know the airport...
There was no place to buy food, like sandwiches or anything like that.
Well, no shit.
The only thing that was open was a snack place, and I got some pizza combos.
To be honest, combos does fill me up, so I can see why. But Jesus, like, with the midst of the coronavirus, some places, and I'm assuming it does involve airports. Some places are somewhat closed, right? Like, food
There's a
stamps.
lot of closed places. I mean, on our way back from Jamaica, they had a bar open, and I stopped and we had a beer there, and that was about it. But yeah.
By the way, I don't drink, so if I wish I could. I'm not like I'm 24, and I just don't choose to drink. But Tyler, oh, he gets.
I don't drink all the time. You're making me out to be an alcoholic,
Dude,
sir.
Not you're not an alcoholic, but I remember this one time you like.
Okay.
Sorry to interrupt the Jamaican story, but I just want to say this one thing before you like start. Is that cool?
Sure.
Once, because it does involve like alcohol, and you were talking about it.
Don't text and drink, guys.
So one time I was at I think I was at work or maybe I was home. Tyler just randomly texts me, and I'm like, it's a weird for Tyler to like text me, but he was texting all like weird. At first, I thought Tyler's account was hacked. I'm like, yo, what are you texting me? You're saying weird things like, come on. I don't even know what you're texting me.
I was talking to you about this chick that I was talking to that I met, and
I'm like, Tyler, when is the last?
Couldn't decide whether she was straight or gay or bi or whatever.
And when Tyler was texting me, he was texting me so aggressively, like he was.
I wasn't texting aggressive.
He was so pissed. I'm like,
I wasn't pissed. I was like, yeah, no, she can't decide. But it's fun listening to this.
At that moment, I knew Tyler was hacked. I'm joking. No, but it was just so weird for him to like text me, and I'm like, yo, dude, are you hacked? And he's like, no. I'm like,
I had a few drinks.
Yeah, I'm like, no, well, that explains it. But yeah, it was just weird. When people text me and they text me super weird, I have to figure out if they're either hacked or not hacked. I'm like, did they post weird shit to their Facebook? Are they hacked? No. But yeah, no, continue with your story.
Yeah. So, where did I leave off? Oh, we landed in Charlotte and I ate combos because that was the best part of my fucking trip there. No, we went.
Great African.
We hopped on the planes, and just so you know, the planes are only supposed to be like 60% full because of Corona and stuff like that and social distancing. Every single freaking seat on that plane had a person on it. I'm not kidding you. Like, we got to Jamaica, they were only expecting a total of 400 people to land in the country that day from America. The first plane out of the 3 or 4 that they had 400 people on it.
Oh my god. Who regulates these airports, man?
They were selling tickets at the gate to get onto the plane.
Oh my god.
The lady that I sat next to, she paid for the whole row to be for herself. And I ended up sitting in that row, and so did someone else.
That sounds insane, dude.
Because they have that option when you're on airlines. You can ask, hey, can I have this whole row to myself? She was a little bit of a bigger lady. So, I mean, I understood her wanting her room there, but I mean...
Not to say there's something wrong with that, but I'm like...
No, it's ridiculous that the planes are even that full. It shouldn't be that full, especially with social distancing.
I'll take my seat in the bathroom. Can you bring my...
Yeah, can I sit in the bathroom the whole flight?
Can you put my like food on the toilet so I can fucking eat over it like a fucking animal?
Oh man. Yeah, so that was that part. So we got into the country and there's all these testing stuff that has to be going on for Corona. And they were I shouldn't really even say that because that's demonetized. Oh. But anyways.
Okay.
So we land and they have like these tables set up where they have to ask you questions and stuff like that for like, have you been to this place? Have you been to Arizona or whatever within the past month or so? And they only had 4 tables open. And mind you, there was already like probably 700 people in this freaking hallway in line. And we are definitely not 6 feet apart. I mean, it was ridiculous. This hallway was getting super hot. and everything, and we were stuck in this line for like 3.5 hours. 3.5 hours sitting in this freaking hallway that's blistering hot. And not just that. So they opened up more tables because they weren't expecting as many people to come in, but they opened up more tables. They must have gotten some people to come in. And so at one point, they came by with the temperature guns to take people's temperatures.
Oh, God.
And I mean,
You got the virus.
Everyone was fine pretty much until they got to our family. So my brother was like 96. My mom was like 97. My dad was somewhere in between there. And then they hit me. My temperature was 99.7.
Because it's fucking hot outside.
It was blistering hot in this freaking hallway. And they're deciding to take people's temperatures. And I hit a 99.7. So you know what they did? I've never been out of the country before. So you know what they did? They told me, grab your passport, you're coming with me. I was like, what? And my mom's like, are you just taking him by himself? And they asked if I was 18, which I'm 21. And they're like, yeah, he's coming with us just by himself. Which already was like, my parents were like, what's going on? What's going on? Blah, blah, blah. And I'm like, oh man, am I going to get shot?
How do you like measure accurate temperature checks with the fucking heat, and it's so fucking hot outside? You can't guarantee to have a accurate measure of temperature. You're like, it's fucking insane. So what happened?
So they took me up front. They literally expedited me to the front of the line. Literally. So they took me up. They had me sit under a light, of all things, for a few minutes because they wanted me to cool down. But they had me sitting under a light instead of in front of one of the freaking 20 fans that they have there.
It sounds more like an interrogation than actual, like...
So they came up, the guy came up, he scanned me like 3 times in the forehead, and I just spit on the computer. But he scanned me like 3 times on the forehead, and every time it showed up red on his gun. He had the lady come up, she scanned me in the forehead, I came up green. My temperature was perfectly fine.
So it was the guns.
I think it was his gun. And then he tried it again because he looked so confused. And it came up red again. And then he shot me in the neck. And then it came up green.
What the fuck? It goes to show you, dude, that these scanners, like, they're measuring people with, like, what's to say... Not that I mean, this video can't even get monetized because we don't even have them.
Right.
But what's to say that most of the measurements aren't even, like, corona tests aren't even accurate with some people? What's to say that some people don't even have it and they're just being told they have it? It's just my theory because...
Yeah. So they took me up to one of the tables. And then I started doing the paperwork, and I grabbed all the paperwork that we had filled out on the plane, the immigration forms, because we have to fill out immigration forms when we come into the country. So we filled that out, and I brought that with me, thankfully, because I had our flight number and everything on it, and I didn't know what the heck I was doing with all that. So they asked me all these questions, and I just looked on the sheet to find the answers, and I was like, yeah, this is our flight number, and this is where we're coming from, and blah, 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 blah. And I literally did all this all by myself. Like, I was, again, first time being out of the country, and I'm doing all this stuff by myself, nobody around, and they gave me a little Q, which stood for quarantine. They had little slips of paper that said Q or T, and you're supposed to keep your little slip of paper with you. Well, apparently since they expedited me to the front of the line, they gave me a Q. So that I could stay quarantined. Whatever, I guess. So, they sent me through. I went through the questioning. I went through customs and baggage claim all by myself.
Okay.
I stood at baggage claim for like 10 or 15 minutes waiting for our friends to pop through the line because they were in front of my parents. And then we waited another 5 to 10 minutes for my parents to get through. So, yeah. That was our trip in the airport that took like 3.5 hours.
That was the best adventure ever told about an airport ever. I don't even think people can top that airport story.
It was ridiculous.
I think that deserves a round of applause. I'm not
gonna lie. Like, when they pulled me all by myself, I was definitely thinking to myself, am I gonna get shot?
Why wouldn't you be fucking scared, bro? I'd be fucking scared.
Like, they were all in military uniforms, and I mean, I know it's their job. They were really nice people, but I was like, they're just gonna line me up here and just like, pa 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 pa.
Oh my god, it's ridiculous, bro. But yeah, what else happened?
What else happened?
Scary airport story.
So, for the most part, everything after that was smooth as butter.
Yeah, I saw the Facebook stories. I saw the Facebook post, okay? There were very nice beaches, and you were having so much fun. Oh my
gosh, it was beautiful down there. And we picked literally the perfect time to go because our hotel only opened up 3 days before we got there. So when we got there, our hotel only had like 12, 13 people there. So we had pretty much the whole resort to ourselves.
That is cool.
It is cool. It's an experience unlike any other. Like, you would have never thought going there now. Like, towards the end of the week, it started to pick up because obviously they had just started opening back up. But going there, you would have never. Today, you would have never thought that would have ever happened. Like, it's ridiculous.
Well, this podcast is sponsored by Moist Towelettes. Moist Towelettes.
What the? What?
I'm joking.
What?
This podcast is sponsored by Jamaica.
No, it's not.
You're making me crazy.
Oh, man. Oh, okay.
Keep going.
Anyways, so we went to the Hilton Rose Resort in Montego Bay. That was a beautiful resort. I love the resort. They had a water park there. They had like 4 or 5 places to eat there on the resort, which is crazy. And then you have room service, which is free because it's an all-inclusive resort. So that's like 6 places you can freaking eat. And then they had activities every freaking night. Like, it was amazing. Like, we spent most of our time in the water park. We didn't really go to the beach that much. Because, I mean, the one time I did go to the beach, I have stories of that too.
Oh my god.
I got pinched by a crab. And I had a creepy guy row up to me on a fucking fishing boat.
What was worse, the creepy crab or the creepy guy?
Honestly, the creepy guy was worse. Alright, listen. Okay, I have to tell you this story. So, we are literally just chilling out in the ocean, just relaxing, minding our own business. It's me, my dad, my brother, and our friend. And I'm further out towards the buoys, which is towards the deeper end of the ocean. And you just see this guy rowing his boat, right? And the lifeguard is sitting on his tower. He doesn't even notice the guy, right? Guy rows into the buoys. And he rows right up pretty much like 20 feet away from me. He looks at me and he's like, "Hey, man, come over here, man." And I'm sitting here. I'm like, no, thank you. He's like, seriously, man, come over here. And I was like, no.
I see.
And I swam right away, and I was like,
I see you got the crabs. What do you want me to do?
And I'm sounding stereotypical, but that's literally exactly what he said.
It doesn't matter. We're not trying to sound like he's not trying to sound stereotypical. He's doing a voice. That's all it really. It's
no. That's exactly how he said it, and what he said. I'm saying word for word.
Yeah, what I'm doing is just amplifying it and making it sound terrible. But no, keep going.
Just imagine, and this fishing boat, it wasn't even obviously it's a third world country and blah 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 blah, but it was a very beat up boat. Like I was like, all right, either he's about to throw a net over me and freaking pull me into the boat and take me away, or he's trying to sell me some ganja.
What's to say he doesn't have the great ganja?
And I wasn't into either of those options.
I don't know. This guy seems like a man of taste.
Like that's. We had somebody offer us freaking marijuana while we were down there.
Your mom probably was like,
no, literally, our friend. We met this really cool guy at the resort. He's
I wonder why he was. Cool.
He was raking the beach, and he even had the Rastafarian hat on. And one of the days, he said to our friend, he's like, "Hey man, if you ever need anything, if you smoke the ganja, I got you." And our friend was like, "No, but let me ask my brother," which is he's referring to my dad because they're pretty much like so close to each other. And my dad's like, "No, I'm not smoking that." But no, it was really cool down there. It was a lot of fun. We enjoyed ourselves, except for the fact that that guy came up to me and was like, "Hey, come over here," and I was like, "No, I'm not doing it.
I'll take all the ganja you have, man."
No.
Anything else? How much is all this? That will be $20, man.
Now, I will tell you guys, the equivalent that they make down there, minimum wage to what we make here in US, they make equivalent maybe $1.95 an hour down there. Yeah.
They make $1.95?
$1.95 an hour. Minimum, or $1.75 an hour minimum wage, I think.
That's incredibly bad.
Yeah, it's ridiculously low.
That's not
so you think about this, if you even tip them $5, that's 2.5 hours worth of a shift for them. Like, it's crazy. So, I mean, there was quite a few people that we tipped them $20 because, I mean, they did astounding service, and I mean, they deserved it. They really did. So, I mean, yeah. One guy in particular, the same guy that offered us weed, we were walking down and we went to go check out what water sports they had, because they had water sports like water trikes and kayaks and stuff like that down there. And we were on our way back with some beers for the family and stuff like that. And we stopped and asked this guy. We were like, "Hey, is there any possible way that we could get some like fresh coconuts or whatever?"
I got the coconuts.
And the guy's like, yeah. How many you want? And we came back. We were like, just give us a moment. Let us come back and we'll see how many we need. He's like, all right, man. Just come back over here when you're ready. So we did. We came back with I think it was 6 of us. 6 of us came back out of the 9 of us. And we got coconuts, and we were like, all right, we're ready, man. And this guy, team player, man, I tell you, he was just sitting there raking the beach because they have all that seaweed and stuff like that gets up onto the beach.
For $1?
Yeah, $1.95 an hour.
Do realize it's like sweatshop, like.
Yeah, but it's a third world country. What do you expect? I mean, they got to pay their bills somehow.
I mean, I hope they're like.
And I would assume working at a resort, you're getting paid more than the vast majority of people.
I hope like the value of like currency there is it like the same as our currency over there in Jamaica?
No, they have a different currency.
I'm assuming their value of like $1 is like more than it is over there, the currency.
Like to get 5,000 Jamaican dollars, it's like $45 US.
Okay. So like $1 in Jamaica can roughly buy you nothing, essentially.
Yeah, pretty much.
Okay. Making sure.
Yeah, it's like a penny.
A penny. Okay, well the value of $1 in Jamaica is like a penny. You can't buy anything.
Yeah, pretty much. But anyways, we were talking to this guy and he actually got the ladder out and went up and picked fresh coconuts off the tree for us. And then, on top of that, he gave us a little lesson as to which ones are good for drinking and which ones are good for eating. The younger the coconut, the better it is to drink, and the older the coconut, the better it is to eat. So,
I've seen pictures of you drinking the coconut, and I'm tempted to say I want some goddamn coconuts right now.
they're really good. I will not lie. We did, at one point, like, my brother drank about half of his coconut, and then he's like, alright, I'm gonna put some alcohol in this.
God damn it. Why does your brother gotta ruin a coconut now?
I finished mine normal, but he did. I think they put some vodka in there. So.
Not the coconuts. God damn it.
Yeah.
Why you gotta ruin coconuts, man?
No, it was good, man. It was really good.
So tell me, how was the rooms? How were the beds?
The rooms were okay. I will have to say the beds were not the comfiest thing in the world. I think that's part of what jacked my back up, because I remember telling you about how my back was all jacked up from Jamaica.
I remember going to work and you telling me your jack was back.
My jack was backed up.
Yeah. Your friend Jack was backed up. No, I remember going to work and you were like, my fucking back hurts.
Yeah, dude. No, yo, my back, I tell you, was ridiculous that day. Like, I could not bend, like, 5 degrees without feeling a sharp pain in my back.
How were because the beds were, like, made of rocks or...
No, I mean, for a hotel, I guess it was comfy for a hotel, but it's nothing like my own bed.
Because I've been to other hotels where the beds are, like, probably the best part, but I don't know if Jamaican hotels are a little different from our hotels, but okay.
Yeah, no, I mean, apart from the beds, everything was perfect. Everything was perfect. Yeah.
Now tell me about these ladies you were speaking of.
What ladies?
I'm trying to tell them the ladies. How are the ladies?
At the resort?
No, at the goddamn... Yes, at the resort. What do you think I'm talking about?
I mean...
It's where we work?
I mean, there was maybe like 1 or 2 cute girls there that I would have been like, hey, you're cute.
All I know is that you said the customer service was excellent.
Oh my gosh. Well, you can definitely tell they're working for tip. For sure. But at the same time, I don't think here in America you could ever get customer service as good as what they had there. And I know that's a bold claim, but I mean, I'm being genuine when I say that. I mean, at work, I don't even provide that good a customer service. Like, you ask me if I can get you a fresh coconut, I'm gonna be like, yeah, they're over there in produce.
No, and if you ask me at work if there's any fresh coconuts, I'd be like, this ain't Jamaica. This is a goddamn grocery store. Get your own coconut. Like, I don't even think we have fresh coconuts that are where we work, right?
We do sometimes.
Because everything's prepackaged? By the way, we both work at a grocery store. I work the night shift. He works the morning shift. So if we're like
evening and day.
Evening and day. So if we're like ranting about where we work and we like tell stories from work, that's just how it is.
Oh, trust me, I have some stories from work.
Yes, but the customer service you said was superb.
Oh, customer service was more than I could have ever asked for. Like, literally, we had a guy go out of his way to get us some Heineken, which wasn't supposed to do. He went out of his way to go back to the beer thing and get us some Heineken because my one of our friends was like, hey, do you guys have any Heineken? He's like, no, we don't have any in the bar. I'm not really supposed to do this, but I can go up to the beer cage and we can see what I got up there for you. And we were like, oh, alrighty. So, I mean, like, what they did there is just, like, it's awesome. I loved every minute of being there.
I've seen commercials for Jamaican, like, hotels and resorts, and I think they sort of do advertise it as a good place to, like, go when you're with your family. I don't know if you ever...
10 out of 10 recommend.
Yeah, I don't know if you ever seen, like, because I remember when I was a kid, like, this Jamaican resort commercial will pop up, and every time I, like, see it, I will like look back on it and I'm like, that's a very goddamn catchy Jamaican resort commercial. I'm like, I wish I could have go to Jamaica and like hang out. Although you said the beds were very rough and I can't, my back.
They were a little rough. Yeah,
I have a very weird back, so I cannot sleep on a bed. I'd probably sleep on a.
Yeah, my back was jacked up for a good like month and a half after that,
and that's not good because Tyler is on his feet all day,
all freaking day long,
and I'm on my feet all day long. So it's like you're in serious pain, and you have to like. There's so much that goes into working at a grocery store, and we can't really say the grocery store we work at because, and say for this, and
anonymity,
yeah. So yeah, it's crazy, man.
But yeah, no, I was jacked up for a while there, but yeah, so that was fun. But we did have a lot of activities that we did while we were there. Like at one point, the first night we were in, oh my gosh, I can never forget it. We went down to the East Beach, I think is what it was called, East Beach, and we went over there, and they had like a Michael Jackson night, pretty much, because this was over 4th of July weekend. They had a Michael Jackson night or something like that, and they had a Michael Jackson impersonator in there who was singing Michael Jackson songs and stuff like that, dancing like Michael Jackson, blah, blah, blah. Well, after that was over...
That wasn't Michael. That wasn't Michael Jackson. That was just me.
Shut up. The show host starts calling people up, saying, anybody want to come up here to do an activity up here? And we all of a sudden started saying our friend's name all out of the blue. Like, we were all saying, oh yeah, you should go up, come on, man, do it. And so he went up there finally. He really didn't want to go up there until she called him out, being like, hey, they seem to want you up here, man, you should come up here. So he went up there, and he doesn't like to dance. He does not like to dance. And literally the one thing that they had him do, it was a dance-off.
Oh, yeah.
Like, they labeled him the last American because there was 2 Americans up there, but there was a Canadian guy, a Jamaican, 2 Americans. And the first one had already gone, and he was the last American.
That's what I'm naming you.
You're naming me the last American?
The last American.
The last American.
Sounds like a movie.
Right? It does sound like a movie title.
Oh, man. Oh, God.
So, yeah, that was fun. We enjoyed that. He made a fool of himself because he doesn't know how to dance. So
I hope he swam and did some crab fishing or whatever the hell
He danced twice while we were there. She called him out in the crowd twice while we were there.
Talking about Mason?
No, our friend.
Oh, because your brother does look like...
Our friend's dad, I should say.
Gotcha. What was Mason doing this entire time?
I will tell you, for being a 17-year-old, and they don't, just so you guys know, they don't have a legal drinking age down in Jamaica. They have a legal buying age in Jamaica where you cannot purchase alcohol unless you are 18, but you can drink it at any age.
Yeah, so we're not promoting...
As long as you have adult supervision and whatever, you're allowed to drink.
We're not promoting underage drinking.
No, we are not.
We're not.
It is bad. Do not underage drink.
Please
if you get caught, you are screwed.
Please, we are.
But this was perfectly legal as we were in Jamaica.
Make that clear, so we don't get. I was going to say demonetized, but we don't even fucking get paid for this shit.
Yeah,
no.
This was perfectly legal, just so you know.
Yeah.
And I will say, the one day my brother was trashed.
Why do I just
trashed?
Why do I just?
He fell asleep at the dinner table.
To be honest, I fall asleep at the dinner table too.
Like, Oh my gosh, there was at one point he was trying to put his charger in his phone. It took him a full minute and a half to get his charger in his phone. And it's not like he has a Samsung with a micro USB or anything. He has an iPhone with the lightning charger.
Those are not even hard to put in.
No, they're not.
Hey, Tyler, my charger isn't going in. You know where the hole is?
Dude, can you give me a hand here? I'm trying to put my charger in, but I can't get it in. You literally said that to me. Oh man, that was so funny.
Oh my
It was funny. It was
God.
hilarious. So
Yeah. Oh wow, Jamaica sounds really, really fun.
it was great.
You know,
Now,
I was in Jamaica too, man.
In spirit.
In spirit, yeah.
In spirit.
In spirit. No, I wish. In spirit. I looked at his photos and I'm like, you know what? I support this guy. Tyler needs a vacation.
I mean, you were texting me while I was in Jamaica, so
I didn't even know.
much there.
I didn't even know you were in Jamaica when I was texting you. I was trying to leave you alone, but you know.
Yeah, you did leave me alone for the most part.
Yeah.
Except for that one day.
I don't know. What was that day?
We literally just talked about it.
Sorry, I just got amnesia during this podcast. Yeah, yeah, I know what you're talking about. Yeah.
Oh man, but yeah, no, I do have another funny story though. While we were down there,
We're actually gonna take a break.
Oh, we got time for one more.
Yeah, we'll take a
little break.
Yeah,
So I was on Snapchat because I was just taking a video of the table and whatnot, and I took a video of my friend, and at some point I took a picture of my mom because we did a photo shoot while we were down there, and there was something that she wanted me to take a picture, and I took a picture, and it turned out really, really well. Well, so for the first one, I posted it on my Snapchat story, right? And it was of my friend, and she's pretty chill. She's pretty cool. And one of my other friends from Georgia, he comments and he sends me a message. He's like, "Who's that? Do you know that girl? You gonna hit that?"
Wait, was that your mom?
No, this was for my friend.
Who's the girl?
You know, she was one of the girls that we were talking to at Giant the one day that wanted to be in our videos and never did, but you know. So
our one problem with our videos is
he's like, "You gotta hit that," and I looked at it. I looked at my phone. I looked up, and then I looked back at my phone. It was like out of a movie.
Are you gonna hit that,
bro? She's basically my sister, bro.
Okay, but basically,
and she has a boyfriend.
She's not married.
Oh, shut up.
There's no ring on it.
Shut up. No, I do like her as a friend at this point. She's really cool. I couldn't see myself going out with her though.
Why?
I really couldn't.
You can't see her. You going to dinner with her? Why?
No.
Very picky.
No.
When a person she is.
I just couldn't. I really couldn't. You know who you are if you're listening to this, by the way.
Yes. If you're gonna spend an hour on a podcast, I hope you listen to this and maybe cherry pick the story if you want, because you're not gonna listen to it.
All right. Well. Anyways, and then later in the trip. Oh no, it was later that day actually. We went into one of the other restaurants, and then I looked down at my phone, and he sent me another message after I sent the Snapchat of my mom, because the picture was really pretty. And I see a message saying the same freaking thing. The exact same thing. He's like, "Oh, she's pretty. You gonna hit that?"
Well, are you?
Like, that's my mom! Bro, no, stop, no.
Oh, yeah, God.
And he's like, "What? That's your mom?"
Jesus, this guy is some horny ass dude. Fuck you. Who hits this guy? Why is he acting to hit things?
He's one of my really good friends, but oh my gosh.
Sounds like that day he was just incredibly Are you gonna hit that? You see that llama behind you? Are you gonna hit that? Dude, that's a llama!
And I'm not gonna say his name, but yeah.
Call him the hit that guy, because he likes Tyler to hit stuff.
He's definitely not gonna watch this because he's expressed his disinterest in the channel. But
what do you mean
that's
disinterest in the channel?
Yeah, originally he's like, I don't like watching skit channels. They're kind of stupid.
No shit.
So
why do people come out with that statement? They don't like watching sketch channel. It's the point of being a sketch channel is to be stupid. So your entire reason for watching it is to feel stupid. You're supposed to watch it. It's a stupid sketch channel.
Yeah, but some people don't like that feeling.
Well, we don't even do sketches anymore because we just do storytime podcasts. But if you
I don't see him listening to podcasts either.
This guy sounds like a real weirdo, man. I'm just gonna be.
Oh, he is really weird. Don't get me wrong, he is really weird. But
I don't think I'll hang out with this guy if I was.
He's one of my besties.
Gotcha.
He's really weird, but he's one of my besties.
Eventually, we want to talk about more about the sketches and how we made them and but we want to save that for the towards the end, maybe the hour mark, because we're trying to reach the hour mark. We might take a break. I think we should try to take a little small break to gather up what we're gonna say next.
You think so?
Well,
all right.
Little break cool. Right now. Yeah. So we are gonna take a little small break. And we will actually be right back. So
to you guys, it'll probably be a week in time because this is about halfway through the podcast. But
well, we're actually gonna take a break and then we're gonna do another hour because we're
doing... Yeah, I know, but you said we'd cut it in half. Yeah, and we do one half. And
we're doing we're on the 50. We're on the 50-minute mark.
It's about an hour.
Yeah. So we're gonna be right back. For some of you, it will be next week, and the stories will continue. But for some of you, we will like to say thank you for sort of enjoying the podcast. This is sort of a relaunch, and we kind of love doing this. How about you, man?
This is fun. I enjoy this.
Because, not to ramble on before we leave, when we first launched our podcast, we were not sure how it was going to work. We relied so much on other people to the point where we weren't even able to talk at all. Because to be honest, I barely know Tyler. I only know him because I first started working at the grocery store. We're gonna call it.
We've come to know each other a little bit better.
But yes, me and Tyler have this chemistry where we can talk, joke around.
Don't say chemistry, man. People will get the wrong idea.
I actually failed chemistry, so just we'll say we have sort of a math. I fail math too. Me and Tyler have sort of this math thing going on.
What?
I failed math too, so I'm trying to fix.
Okay.
Me and Tyler are like friends. We can talk around. We can joke around. We're good buds.
I didn't know I had friends.
Tyler, we're trying to end this podcast. We're not trying to give sympathy points to people. Yeah. So we hope you enjoyed this podcast. My name is Ramen. This is my buddy TY.
Yo.
And we will see you next week right here on Drunk Ramen Storytime Podcast. You guys have a good night.